Okay, so the third and fourth parts of fairy dust are the fairies. So this is where I actually started when I was designing the pattern. I came up with this fairy panel first. And it is, the whole chart is that full sort of almost 200 stitches wide. And there's no repeat in it. So that's slightly different to, well, it's rather different to what I normally do, because I would normally have repeats across. So I wanted to try and keep the number of stitches, or keep the written instructions as sort of concise as possible. So what I decided to do, because as you can see it is symmetrical, what I decided to do was basically give you the instructions, written instructions, right up to like the center stitch, and that's it. And then you just basically need to read it backwards to do the rest of it. Yeah, so if you read all of the stitches for this first bit backwards, it'll create the other bit. Okay, so what I've done here, I'm actually on row 3. Rows 1 and 2 were just standard, just rows of plain back loop double crochets. If you are doing one of the 4-color versions like the nymph or sprite, what you'll do, you wouldn't even do row 1, because that will be the same color as the last row was from your daisies. Okay, but anyway, once you get up to row 3, I've now done most of that, and I've just now got these last sort of half a dozen stitches left before the center. Okay, so that now ends the written instructions. I've now got 5 front loop trebles to do. 2, 3, 4, 5, and that has now taken me, whoops, to that marked center stitch. So I would say definitely it's really important to use a marker for your center stitch here. So what you'll now see, if you're looking at the written instructions, you'll see it says 1FC. Okay, so that is 1 front loop treble sort of marked, the marked center stitch, C for center. Okay, so F for front loop treble, and you're marking it. So that's what we're now going to do. We're now going to do 1 front loop treble in that marked center stitch. Okay, and then we're going to take our marker out and move it up, so we always know where our center stitch is. So now we don't need to do that again. I've done our center stitch once. So now, if you remember, I just did 5 front loop trebles, so I'm now reading it backwards. I've got 5 front loop trebles again. Okay, 3, 4, 5. I'll just carry on a little bit further, because we've got some instructions in brackets in a minute, and I'll just explain to you how they work when you're reading it backwards as well. Okay, so after the 5 front loop trebles, we'll have 3 back loop double crochets, 3 front loop trebles, 2, excuse the squeakiness, I don't know if you can pick that up. I can hear a slight squeak on my hook. I'm not quite sure why that is. Okay, so now we've got 5 back loop double crochets, 3, 4, 5, 1 front loop treble, 1 back loop double, 3 front loop trebles, and 1 back loop double. I'll just show you that, because I've now got to the brackets. Okay, so hopefully you can see they are now mirroring. There we go, to there. All right, so now we get to the brackets. So that was written in the pattern in the square brackets, 1B 2F twice. So what you need to do is like read it, that you've now, so what the next word you've got to is twice, so you know that the bit in the brackets twice, but you need to do that as 2F 1B, so you're still reading whatever is in the brackets backwards as well. Okay, so it's written there 1B comma 2F twice, so we're going to do 2F 1B 2F 1B. Okay, We'll just do that and then we'll see. So get it in the right stitch. 1, 2 F, 1 B, 2 F, 1 B. So what we'll now do, I put that there, we'll go back to with a mirror and you'll be able to see. There we go. So we've got our 5, 5, 1, 3, 1, and there's the, hopefully you can see that there in the same shot that you've now done. After the 3 we had 1B, and then in the brackets we've now done it backwards. So that was 2, 1, 2, 1. Okay, 2, 1, 2, 1. Hopefully that all makes sense. So that is basically all you need to know now to enable you to do the fairy chart. So just remember, you read, if you're following the written instructions, you go up to the center stitch, make sure you mark that center stitch, and then you just read the instructions backwards. And also anything in brackets, you'll read that backwards too.